This is how I make stickers in a nutshell, how I go from this to this. The materials I use is this type of sticker paper, this type of laminating sheets, this brand of printer, and this brand of cutting machine. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up Silhouette Studio. That is the program for my cutting machine. This is where we're going to be designing our sticker sheet. I'm going to first hit print and cut. That'll open up another little window to where I can check off enable registration marks. Once I do that, I upload my design onto the sheet and I see that there's a red outline along my design and I don't want that. So I go to top left at the red square and I click on the little hatched icon to remove it. Once I do that, then I resize my design to be the exact size I want for the sticker. And then I click on offset, open up another window, click on offset again. And this is your white outline for your sticker. Now just know the red line is where the cutting machine will be cutting, so you do want to remove any red lines that are inside the design, unless you want holes in your sticker. Once I do that, I then copy and paste my design over and over on my sheet just to fit as many as I can within the red square. And once I am done with all that, I then go to print and cut and hit print. I make sure all my printer settings are all good for the paper type, quality, color, etc. And then I let it go off. Once that's done printing, I then put on the laminating sheet. So I peel off the edge here and then place it onto the sheet. And then using my blue squeegee tool, I will use that to just slide the laminating sheet onto the paper, ensuring there are no air bubbles anywhere. Then I cut off the excess with my scissors. And the sheet is all done. Then we add it onto the cutting mat, and we want to make sure it's perfectly aligned onto the cutting mat with the markings that are on the mat itself. You just want to make sure it's perfectly straight to put into the machine, as well as following the guidelines on the machine. Then I go back to the program, I go to the top right at the Send tab, and then I click on the outlined circle and square icon. Once I'm in here, I then make sure the red is highlighted, and then I put my specific settings for my cutting machine. You might have to pause to read here, but this is the settings that I use for my paper and laminate. Once you do that, you hit send and it's right off to the machine. Once that's done, I then peel off the excess sticker sheet and then I bend the mat and carefully lift off the stickers. And once you do that, you're all done. So thank you for watching. This wasn't like a super in-depth tutorial. This was just kind of a glimpse into my process. So if you ever wanted to know how you make a sticker, now you know.